Hello everyone. As many of you know, I managed to complete with my friend Cathy McCurry the last section of the Camino de Santiago during the last week of October in 2019. The Camino Santiago, also known as the French Way, is an ancient pilgrimage route which runs for more than 790 kilometres, 490 miles, from St Jean de Pont on the French border across the top of Spain to the cathedral city of Santiago. Our Camino took us along the final section of the way. Throughout our journey, we held fast to the words of Jesus from the Gospel of St John, verses 1 to 6. As we struggled through the hilly terrain and battled against heavy rain, we knew that at the end of each day we would arrive at one of the many mansions prepared for us in advance of our arrival. Despite the blisters and the aching feet, we tried hard, as Jesus exhorted us to, not to let our hearts be troubled, for I am the way. We completed our journey of faith, friendship and thanksgiving, ignorant of the fact that, like many millions of others worldwide, we would soon begin another more arduous journey, a journey which has yet to be completed. Little did we know that when we arrived home on the 2nd of November 2019, that within a few months, Spain and the rest of the UK and Europe would be in the grip of COVID-19. 2020, a new decade, a new beginning, saw the world begin to shut down. And by March, we, like the rest of the UK, were in lockdown in a bid to spread the stem of the virus in our own communities. We all have our own stories about our own journeys through the dark weeks of isolation from family and friends. Many have still to be reunited with loved ones due to the continuing reoccurrences of the virus in our communities and indeed in the UK, Europe and America. No one has been unaffected. We have all struggled with troubled hearts. Our homes, our mansions carefully prepared for us to be places of refuge and hospitality, became the boundary walls of our newly confined and for many very lonely and isolated lives. It is during these unprecedented times that it is easy to forget what Jesus has instructed us, not to let our hearts be troubled, for he is the way and he will guide us through this. We have many examples of God's deliverance in biblical texts. The Old Testament story of the destruction of the Sennacherib in 2 Kings, when Hezekiah and the Israelites were delivered from the might of the Assyrian army, is but one. It tells us that nothing can stand against the might of God if we put our trust in him. Psalm 46 is a great hymn of praise in response to one such deliverance. It tells us of the writer's quiet confidence that even in times of great desolation and destruction, our God and his Son Jesus is our refuge and strength. Let us cultivate this quiet confidence and lean on Christ in the midst of our present circumstances. Let us every day take time to remember that Christ alone will provide us with what we need individually and collectively in any circumstances, even this pandemic. Never forget that the God of Jacob is our ever-present help in trouble. So in the midst of our present situation, as we wobble in and out of lockdown and try to learn to live with COVID-19 as part of our daily lives, let us spend time to seek Jesus and be still in God's presence daily. Let us, like Isaiah in chapter 40, verse 31, hope in the Lord, who will renew our strength, who will let us soar on eagle's wings, run and not grow weary, walk and not faint, assured in God's promise that this too will pass. May you and yours feel God's blessing today and every day, for he holds us all in the palm of his hands. Take care and God bless.